sometimes you might have 2 or more data frames separately and you want to combine them. Like for example, when we have a data set called life form, which contains genuine species and life forms here, and then you also have another data set called flowering, which also contains the same genuine species and flowering. Here, the difference is that this one has life forms and this one have flowering. So I am going to show you how you can combine this data and then this data set all together. And then sometimes too, you might also have another data set called seeds, which the name, we are actually expecting these names to be the same as genus and species, but here it changed from name 1 to name 2. So I will show you how to use R programming to do that. But basically what you have to do is that if your data is in an Excel form, the best thing you are supposed to do is to change the name of the title or the name of the columns first before you input it into R. But in a way, there is an R programming code that can help you do that. So let's get started. So we all know how to read our data from R programming. So let's assume that the name is called life forms. So I'm going to show you how to do that. This is very, very simple. The first data, so I can say that the first data is here. So we say that the data is called life forms, and then we use read.table to do that. The text file is called life forms data. So, and then the header is true, just to tell you that the name of the headings are already there, or the variables are already there. So you want to read that. And if you want to view the data, you use the view function. Sorry. What am I doing? The view function to view the live forms data. So you do that and then you read it. It also comes like this. So if you also want to read the second data, I have already told you how to do that. Let me have it over here. You say the second data is called this flowering data, and then this is the read. It's basically the same thing. So you just have to run it, and then you view the data, and it is here. Now you can see that in the life forms and then the flowering, we have genus and then species. But the difference here and then here is that here we have life forms and then this. Now, if you want to do that, if you want to merge this data, we have a function in our programming called merge. And when you do that, it is going to take only the columns in if you use only the merge, it's going to take the column from a situation where it has in both the genus and then the species in both the life form and then the flowering, and then the all other ones, it is going to ignore that. I will show you how to do that. And also there is also another function where you want to merge all of them together. And here you can see that when you do that, the situation where you don't have the same thing, it is going to produce an NA value. So let's do that and then see how it is going to that. So for example, let's say that we want to merge the 2 data frames. The 2 data frames. Okay, so we use the merge function. So merge, and then we are going to merge flowering. Flowering, and then we are also with what live forms. So when you do that, look at it over here. It is only producing the variables that is only contained in the genus and then the species in both parts. But so that is what it's going to give you. But a situation where sometimes you want to actually see, you want to merge all of them together, whether they are similar or not, we use another function in that, and it's called OR, that it will make it true. So when you do that, it is going to the one that does not match is going to produce an NA value. So let's say we are going to merge both functions, and then it's going to actually produce an NA value. So what we have to do is that we use the same thing, but let's say we are going to merge both of them. So what you have to do is, let's say we call a function both, and we are going to merge it. So we say merge. So we are going to merge flowering, and then we are also adding live forms. And then after you have done that, then you say or then you say you make it true. So you are going to do that, and then let's see what it's going to produce at. So after you have done that, then we can view the both. So view, we use the view function to view the both data, and then see. So now you can see that where it doesn't match, it produces an NA values. So that is basically how it is done. Now, so for example, if we have another data set called a seed data set, which we have, instead of we having the genuine name, the genuine and then the species here, we don't have it, but it's the name is changed to name 1 and then name 2, and then we have another third variable over here. Meanwhile, the best thing you are supposed to do is to change the names over here to genuine and then the species, so that you can just combine, use the merge function to do that. But it's a situation where we don't have it like this. Let me show you the code to do that. So that one, what you have to do is you just use the merge function, and then you use by X and then by Y. So this is how we are going to do that. So you say merge, you want to merge the data. Oh, sorry. Merge. You're going to merge the both, and then the seeds. Okay, let me import the data first. Let me import the seed first. So if you want to import it, this is very easy. We use because if you don't import it, you can't do that. So I just do that. We write it, and then view it over here. So view, it's going to produce the same thing over here. That is what I showed you over here. So this is the seed. So we have it over here, and we want to just do that. We just want to merge the both data, because this both data is a data that we have already merged. This one, the flowering data, and then the life forms data. So let's try and then do that and see what's going to happen. So what you have to do is that, because the names are different in the seeds, which we have it over here, what the best thing you can do is to use the by X and then the by Y. So it's very, very simple. You use the merge. So you're going to merge both data, and then seeds. Then what you have to say, by dot X, then you say comma, then you put the concatenate. So we want to use the names, genus. So genus. Then you also want to use species. You have to be careful because you have to check the spellings. Sorry. Species. And then after you have done that, then you bring comma, then you say by Y, then you do the same thing, and then you say name 1, which is the name 1, and then you bring another comma here, then you put it in another quotation, then you say name 2. So now we are just merging the two data frames, and we want to call the first the data name genuine 1 and then 2 by this. So we just want to do that, and let's merge it and see how it is done. So when you do that, you can merge all this data into this, and now you have everything over here. Thank you so much, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.